Hey guys, welcome back to the second part of ranking every single From Software boss. If you haven't seen the first part, feel free to check it out. That was 1 to 15, and this is going to be 16 to 30? Yeah, 16 to 30. Anyways, let's just dive in with number 16. So, at number 16, it's Ornstein and Smough. There's just a lot going for Ornstein and Smough. They're the bog standard when it comes to two-target boss fights, in that you've got, you know, the really fast Ornstein, you've got the slow Smough, the pillars can split up aggro, which is really nice. They can stop projectiles, so you can really use the arena against them. It's just great. They're just a great two-target boss. And there's more going for them, like, I love the second phase. Depending on who you kill, you get a different second phase, which is something Demon in Pain and Demon from Below also did to a slightly lesser effect, but still pretty cool. I suppose I should explain why they're not higher, or at the very least why I put Demon in Pain and Demon from Below above them on the list. Because I know a lot of people like this boss. And to be quite honest, I just think Demon in Pain and Demon from Below just kind of did it better. And a lot of it is the second phase, because I do like Big Ornstein and Big Smough, but they don't have the biggest moveset. And yeah, I'm sorry, but like Demon Prince is just, I mean, holy shit, the spectacle of the thing. I do really love this boss, though. A great difficulty spike for this point in the game as well. Like, nothing you faced up to this point has been close to as difficult. Unless you're like a brand new player, but running through this game again, like, they still put up a fight. There's still a challenge. So yeah, I really like Ornstein and Smough, and that's number 16. So, at number 17, I'm gonna go with Black Dragon Kalameet. Not really that much to say about this boss, honestly. He's just a really solid boss. He's just a really fun boss. As part of the Dark Souls 1 DLC, obviously you have to get him shot down first. Although you can kill him without shooting him down if you really want to, though it takes like, it takes fucking hours. I wouldn't really recommend it. It's not like there's a special reward for doing it that way. But yeah, it's just a great boss. I love his fire effects as well. I think they look really good. They still hold up. I am playing on the original Dark Souls 1 with DS Fix. I refuse to buy the fucking special edition. But I don't know, maybe they look different there. Who knows? But a lot of fun. Oh, I love his weird eye grab attack as well. The fucking piercing, just the fucking wee when he gets you. Black Dragon Kalameet, yeah, he's number 17. Let's move on. So at number 18, it's Fume Knight. So Fume Knight is really good. He's really good, I do like him, but I still think Dark Lurker is better. Fume Knight has a really solid moveset. He's really refreshing in Dark Souls 2, especially since he has a Phase 2, which is like 100% distinct. It's not like a superficial Phase 2. For example, Velstad. I think Velstad doesn't really have a Phase 2. It's like a fake Phase 2. I'll explain that when we get to Velstad. But let's continue with Fume Knight. So the reason he's not a bit higher, two things actually. Number one, hitbox on the slams, hitbox on the stab as well, especially in the second phase. Fucking inexcusable, even for Dark Souls 2 hitboxes. If this was fixed, I think he might be marginally higher, but I still do really like him. One mechanic I'm actually not a fan of is the healing statues around the arena. Your first time playing, you're likely to use all the smelter wedges because you're given them and told, hey, use them, you can, you know, get rid of the ash statues. And then when you get to Fume Knight, it's just like, oh, you use your smelter wedges? Well, go fuck yourself. Fume Knight heals for this fight. It's not an engaging or fun thing because you can't go back and like pick up the smelter wedges to do it. It's just fucking annoying. I don't like it. But I do really like Fume Knight. So yeah, that's number 18, and that's Fume Knight. So at number 19, it's Owlfather. I think he's one of my favorite hidden bosses, because he's just so fucking fun. He's really aggressive, he keeps up the pace, he has some huge combos. His blade has some pretty crazy range on it, so you can't really afford to run away a lot of the time. But yeah, I just really like this boss fight. I think the second phase is amazing as well. Jumping over the flaming birds as he sends these like specters at you. It's just, oh my god, it's so fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a couple things out the way that I don't really like. Number one, I'm really not a fan of when bosses can Mikery you. Not because, like, not because it's too punishing, although it is, I mean, it is pretty punishing, but just because all it really means is, okay, I'll just never thrust attack this boss, and it's like he doesn't have the ability now. You know what I mean? It's just kind of irritating. I've never been a fan of, like, enemies that can power you in any of the games, so it's not just Sekiro. But yeah, that's kind of irritating. Oh, and one more thing, it's not really to do with the boss, but it's how you find this boss, I think is the most indescribably cryptic, pointless shit. How the fuck is anyone meant to figure it out without a guide? Like, legit, I had to look up a guide, I'm not ashamed to admit it. How the fuck would you guess? Okay, at a random point in the story, go eavesdrop, and then talk to Emma, and then do this, and then go there, leave the area, come back, exhaust the dialogue. Like, fuck me, man. I wish you could just talk to Emma after you fought the original owl, and she said, oh, by the way, he's still alive, and he's got, like, flaming birds and shit. Here, take this bell. That would be a better method. I don't care if it doesn't fit the lore. It would be a lot better than what we got. But yeah, Owl Father, well deserving of his high placement. Love this guy. Let's move on. So at number 20, General Radahn. Or Starscourge Radahn. I think I got his name wrong. Well, you know, either way. Starscourge Radahn. He's a really fun boss. I really like this guy. I think he's a great fight on horseback, and also not to jerk my own dick off or nothing, but I beat him before they patched him. And admittedly, when I fought him the first time, I hated this boss. I didn't know whether to fight him on horseback or not on horseback, but once you really get into the flow and like know how to fight this boss, I think he gets a lot better, because he's really, really fun. Especially on horseback. Honestly, I think he's probably the best horseback boss they could have made. Where it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel too monotonous to fight him, because there are attacks that you run away from, there are attacks you jump over, which is really cool, his big, like, gravity wave across the floor. And in his second phase, when he summons the meatballs and he starts throwing them at you, I find the best thing to do is run away, jump off the horse, dodge, get back on the horse, and jump over. Like, it's just really engaging and fun. And it's a nice fight where you've got, like, a mix of horseback combat and walking around. There is also the mechanic I think is really cool where you can summon like a whole army to fight him. I've never personally done it because I don't want to, but it's there if you want to. And it's really cool, especially for new players, I guess. I can see a lot of people getting pretty frustrated with Radahn. I think I have a friend who's stuck on him right now, actually. I hope said friend manages to beat him someday. But yeah, that's General Radahn. So, at number 21, it's Ludwig. I really, really like Ludwig. I have very little to say about his gameplay, because he's just a very solid fight. He has a lot of great attacks, he can leap up in the air, try and land on you. The second phase as well is really cool, with the huge AoE slam he does with the sword, which, I'll admit took me way too many tries to figure out how you actually dodge it. But, yeah, no, he has some great attacks that really put you to the test. He's a great way to start the Bloodborne DLC as well, because he's not the hardest boss, but he is one of the more fun ones in terms of just like Bloodborne. There's nothing wrong with him, honestly. Like, I don't have any excuse for why he's not higher. I just prefer the bosses above him a little more. But I do. Oh, you know what? Fuck me, his weapon. I love the effects on his weapon. I don't know why they haven't. I don't know why they haven't like reused it in the future games. I mean, the Moonlight Greatsword, it looks pretty good in Elden Ring. I think it looked its best in Bloodborne. It just looks really, really cool. So yeah, there's Ludwig. So at number 22, it's Nameless King / King of the Storm. Admittedly, the first phase does bring the fight down a little bit, though I've never had like any massive issues with it. It's just the second phase is so much better. I don't know, it makes the first one look worse in comparison. Also, he has one move, which I swear to Christ, I still don't know how to properly dodge it, where he'll like charge up his spear sword, and he'll do like a big shocking AoE. He'll just slam it onto the ground in the first phase. I don't know how the fuck to avoid that thing, but still, outside of that, oh my god, the second phase just radiates fucking energy. Oh, he's so fucking... It's like something off a Metallica cover. He's an amazing, he's an amazing boss. He has a lot of great combos. It's fun to dodge through all of his attacks. He has a fairly varied moveset as well, with sort of like, he can chase you down, he can jump up in the air, he can come slamming past you. He has that one move where he'll summon a Thunderbolt, and you have to be perfect dodging that shit. but it feels so good when you do. He's just overall a really satisfying and fun fight, and a great end to the, what do you call it? The, fuck, what is it called? It's not the Shrine of Storms, I don't know. Storm Shock Castle, let's just call it that. I feel like it's an apology for Ancient Wyvern as well, real talk. We're not going to be seeing Ancient Wyvern for quite a while. But, you know, after that shit, it's nice that at least they give you a really cool boss to finish you off. Anyways, so yeah, that's Nameless King. So, at number 23, it's Ebrietas, Daughter of the Cosmos. In my opinion, this is the hardest boss in Bloodborne, including the DLC. I genuinely think she's harder than Kos. And the metric I'm using there is I died more times my first way around, and on my second run of the game, I first timed Kos, but Ebrietas still took like 3 attempts. Like, she's a really hard boss. But she's also a really fun boss. She has a lot of great attacks. She's refreshing as like a big boss that makes good use of her size, as weird as that sounds. I think the one move that, let's say it's slightly annoying, is the charge. Now, it's very easy to dodge if you dodge to the left, and if you see it coming, obviously. But for some reason, dodging to the right, like, always fails. She'll, like, clip you with, like, you know, one of her fucking 50 million little nubs and, like, tentacles and wiggly bits. Outside of that, though, I really like her. I like how you get to focus on the head as well. If you got a thrust weapon, she's a lot more manageable. But yeah, that's Ebrietas, Daughter of the Cosmos, number 23. One of my favorite bosses in Bloodborne. So number 24, from Dark Souls 3, it's Pontiff Sulyvahn. Probably the first, like, major difficulty spike you're actually gonna face in Dark Souls 3. I think up until this point, none of the bosses have been too unmanageable. But this guy just absolutely puts the pressure on. He's really aggressive. He has very long combos, which I think work in Dark Souls 3 because you can get like 50,000 rolls out of 5 stamina. Obviously, if you just dump this guy in Dark Souls 1, he'd be a fucking nightmare. He'd be impossible. You wouldn't be able to do anything unless you just had the most monstrous shield in the game. That said, in Dark Souls 3, he really works. He's a lot of fun. I love his second phase as well with the little apparition he summons. It does admittedly open him up quite a bit to damage. I think the casting should have been a little shorter, you know, give him a little more leeway. But overall, it's still really fun, and it's very enjoyable to dodge both the Shadows move and then his move. Like he'll go for the slam. It's just really fucking satisfying. I love Pontiff Sulyvahn. So yeah, that's number 24, Pontiff Sulyvahn. At number 25, it's Father Gascoigne from Bloodborne. Alright, let's get the one... let's just get the one negative thing out the way about Father Gascoigne. Jesus mother-loving fucking Christ, what were they thinking with the arena? The sheer amount of clutter and crap and just like chunks of stone and gravestones and fucking lampposts and trees. I mean, fuck me, man. It's really cool aesthetically, like you walk in and there's this, it's like this undertaker just waiting for you in this graveyard. Really nice. As an arena to fight in, miserable. Truly fucking miserable. Now that that's out the way, let's get to the good things, which is basically everything else about the fight. He has an amazing teaching experience in Bloodborne where you have to learn to be aggressive, to use the rally system. He's, you know, he's very parryable, but not, you can't spam parry, I guess. The beast form is really cool as well, like the big transformation. I know about the music box thing, but I'm gonna be real with you, I actually kind of missed it, and I mean, I'm sure it's cool to use, but I've never used it, so I can't really comment on that. But it's nice to have it there, you know, it's a nice little piece of lore, and it can make the fight a little easier as well. But yeah, other than the arena, Father Gascoigne, amazing boss, and really fun as a first boss as well. Like, you can reach this guy without even leveling, and it'll be a little harder, but overall, I think Father Gascoigne, like, he deserves number 25. So let's move on. At number 26, it's the Twin Princes from Dark Souls 3. So, I think these guys really are just a solid fight. There's not a lot that they do specifically well, but everything they do pretty good. And it's weird because, like, the teleporting on paper sounds fucking horrible, especially in Dark Souls with the lock-on. If somebody said, like, oh, what about a boss that teleports behind you? It's like, oh, no, fuck no, that sounds terrible. But the teleporting, it's, like, it's so telegraphed, and it's so, like, it's so well shown to you that it ends up being pretty cool. It's, like, really fun to play against. He's got a decent moveset. The second phase, he doesn't really gain too many moves, but he does gain the magic, which is a lot of fun. And then, of course, there's the mechanic where, what's his name? Fucking Scriggly is giving him a piggyback ride. Anyways, so Scriggly can shoot magic at you. That's all I really have to say about that. He shoots magic at you. And, yeah, I don't really have much to say about this guy. I just like him, and I think he's earned a spot. Anyways, let's move on to the next one, I guess. So, at number 27, it's Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy. Absolutely, without a fucking doubt, the best gimmick boss they've ever made. And I love how there's sort of been a build-up with what's his name, like, Storm King. And, spoiler alert, I guess, he's pretty low down. He's not that great. Yhorm, also not that great, but a little higher than Storm King. And then this fucking dude, oh my god, man. They got the Storm Ruler thing so perfect with this guy. It's such a fun weapon to use because it's not just one attack, it's got a whole moveset. And on top of that, the boss himself, like, he fights back. He takes a long time to kill. He's got a decent amount of health. It's not just like you go outside, you swing the blade at him like 3 times, maybe 5 times, and whoops, I guess he's dead. Fun fight. No, he's like really good. And it's kind of disappointing, at least in my opinion, that this was the only gimmick boss in Elden Ring. Because it's like, it's such a good gimmick boss. I feel like if they had this in the back pocket, surely they could have made more gimmick bosses that were really cool. I mean, there's loads of bosses, you know? It's not like I'd miss if they got rid of a few of the field bosses or the, you know, little mini dungeon bosses and replace them with weird gimmicks. It could be fun. It could be fun, and, you know, it's variety as well. But yeah, Rykard is absolutely my favorite gimmick boss in the entire series, and, you know, he deserves it. Anyways, let's move to the next one. Number 28, it's Dragon Slayer Armour. I think this guy is probably one of the most underrated bosses in the whole series. Not because people hate him. Nobody really hates Dragon Slayer Armour. But just because people don't, like, you know, give him the blowjobs that he deserves. Dragon Slayer Armour is just a really fun, really solid boss. He's got a great moveset. He's fairly aggressive. The arena's quite nice. I suppose the one negative thing is, in the second phase, I don't really like the weird fucking, oh, what are they, pilgrim butterflies? That's what they're called. Yeah, the weird little tree butterflies. I don't really like their attacks. I don't know, they just seem to come out of nowhere, and at worst, like, they'll hit you when you can't even see them, and at best, you can kind of just ignore them. Oh, there they are on the screen now. Yeah, but, outside of that, he's just really fun. I also love his weapon. His weapon, when you transpose the boss soul, I used to love fucking one-shotting people in PvP with this thing. But yeah, Dragon Slayer Armour, great boss, deserves to be at number 28. Coming in at 29, it's Genichiro Ashina. I think Genichiro Ashina was a really, like, just well-done difficulty spike for this point in the game. He makes great use of the Sekiro combat system. You have to be aggressive, decent amount of moves. He has that massive combo where he'll just swing 50 times. If you deflect all of it, it feels really nice. But my favorite thing about Genichiro Ashina is the second phase. It's just so good. It's not super long, but it's a good length for this point in the game. And the lightning reversal mechanic is used really well here, and I love the lightning mechanic. Like, anytime it's used, fucking beautiful. Once again, he's one of these bosses where the only reason he isn't higher is I just like the bosses above him more. Because I really don't think there's a single fault with this fight. There's no attack that I hate, there's no, like, I'm really thinking here for, like, anything wrong with the fight. I guess the arena's kinda boring? That's about it. Either way, yeah, Genichiro Ashina, fucking brilliant boss. And finally, at number 30, it's Gehrman the First Hunter from Bloodborne. The final boss, and really good boss. Really good boss. I'm gonna get a couple bad things out of the way real quick. First of all, in the second phase, he has sort of an AoE attack. He jumps up in the air and shoots nothing, and then that nothing explodes and does a fuckload of damage. I wouldn't mind if maybe you could see the projectiles, or the telegraph was a lot, I don't know, easier to read. It just feels really shitty to get hit with that thing when you can't even see what the fuck is going on. And second of all, he does have a couple attacks, just off the top of my head, that have pretty significant one-shot potential in the second phase. And I really don't think any boss should be one-shotting you unless it's like the biggest, slowest attack. So, apart from that, I really do like Gehrman. I think he's aggressive, he's fast, he's fun. He's parryable, but he's not exploitably parryable. Like, there's some attacks that you can parry most of the time, but then there are some that even reactively, you're probably not going to parry. But I still like the option to do so, and it ends up being a really good boss. Now, there is one more thing I will say about him, and it's not a fault with the boss, but it's more a fault with Bloodborne in my opinion. If you go and talk to him at the end of the game, and you just tap A, like A, to get through the conversation, you don't fight Gehrman. You'll hit the first option and skip the final fucking boss. I have no fucking clue why they included it. I think it's so unbelievably shit that there isn't even a screen that says, "Are you sure? This will send you to New Game Plus." Because if you do that, the second you've skipped him, oh, game autosaves. You have to play the entire game if you want to fight Gehrman again. I hate it so much. It's such a dumb mechanic. And you know what? Yes, I'm fucking salty because I did that my first playthrough. I was so fucking pissed. I even got the 3 umbilical cords so I could fight Moon Presence. And I skipped him. I skipped this fucking piece of shit. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to play through the whole game on New Game Plus just to fight him again. I might as well start a new save. Fuck it, I'll start a, what do you call it? I'll try a different build. But outside of that, really like Gehrman. So, we reached the end of part 2. I'm going to start working on part 3, and I'll just post that whenever. These are probably going to come out, like, weekly, I guess? Probably post them during the weekdays, because I'm doing the other compilations during the weekends. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the list, and next time we're going to be doing 31 to 45. So hopefully we got some hot takes in there, or, you know, maybe even some cold takes. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and peace out.